everybody, welcome to episode 37 of the Inspired Knitting Podcast. I am your host Bobby and I am coming to you from New Brunswick, Canada. Today is Thursday, September the 13th, 2018. I would first like to start off by welcoming any new viewers who may be tuning in for the very first time. Welcome. And to any returning viewers, welcome back. This is a podcast about my knitting adventures, and there are sometimes some crocheting and some spinning and sewing and some other fun stuff. So yeah. I'll first start off by doing some administration stuff. So you can find me on the interwebs as X Country Girl 1986X. That's Ravelry. We do have a podcast group over on Ravelry as well. It's Inspired Knitting Podcast. And you can find me on Instagram as Inspired Knitting Podcast as well. So most of the time I've been really crappy lately on keeping my Ravelry up to date. I have been putting my project pages in there as well as my some notes and stuff, but pictures have been not happening. We have been very busy around here, and just when I finish a project, I like to get the pictures done almost immediately, or else I will put stuff away and then forget. So yeah, things were put away, so I just have to take the time out and get some proper pictures of them and start posting them for you guys. But anyways, you can find most of my stuff over on Instagram if you follow me there. That is where I am most active. So I haven't been posting a lot lately, but if you'd like to keep up to date, that's the place to be. So yeah. If you wish to reach out to me, you can always do so via email. That's probably the easiest way. And that is sweetcomfortdesigns@gmail.com. All this stuff will be listed underneath in the description box for you guys. So yeah. So how have you guys been? It has been 2 weeks since I seen you guys last, and it's been pretty good 2 weeks. It's been quiet. I've gotten lots of knitting done, so I have a pretty full podcast to share with you today. It's definitely gotten chillier here, so we're still having sunny and warm days here, but the mornings and evenings are definitely chilly. There is a definite chill in the air. So I am very thankful because I'm going to put this at the beginning of the podcast. This is a little bit of chatter, but I have to send a big shout out to my best friend, my yarn bestie. She is the most awesome person ever. And she made me the most amazing gift. And it has definitely come in handy this past week with the chilly weather. So first I'm going to share with you one of the things that she made me. So this is my friend Shelby. Hi Shelby. So she made me this wonderful hat. Very Canadian, or A. So I'm not exactly sure what pattern she followed for this, but it is an amazing hat. It is all made with Briggs & Little, which is milled here in New Brunswick, Canada. And it is 100% wool. So she made me the hat. And it's supposed to have a pom-pom still, I believe. I'm not sure. But this is what I've been getting the most use out of. She made me a pair of house socks, and they are beautiful. Oh my gosh. If you've been watching me for a while now, you will know that I do not like wearing socks at all. It is something that has been since I was a child. I just like my feet being bare. Even if it is in the winter time, my feet are of course frozen, but I still like having bare feet. And yeah, I am in a wheelchair, so I have super poor circulation, And you think wearing socks would be pretty awesome, but I'm still stubborn and I don't. However, this winter, I might actually have socks on my feet because this past week I have had these on almost every morning and evening. Throughout the day, I have taken them off occasionally just because my feet got a little overheated. But, oh my gosh, they are so nice. And, of course, there are two here. So, again, I do know that Shelby followed a pattern for these. It is a free pattern here on the internet. I just can't remember which one, but it's just a basic vanilla sock. It's all worsted weight. I should have said that about the hat too, because it's the same yarn, Briggs & Little. So we got this beautiful burgundy color, which is showing up kind of red here, but it's burgundy. We got a nice creamy white, and then this beautiful charcoal gray. She did a gusset heel and just I believe it's a rounded toe. So yes, absolutely beautiful. And I am so proud of her too, because this was Shelby's first pair of socks that she's ever done, and she did very well. I did help her a little bit here on the heel, like just figuring out how to do it, and I just showed her once and she took off with it, and she didn't even need help to do the second one. Didn't need no help to do the toe or nothing, so I'm super proud of her. She is an amazing knitter, and I can't wait to see what she comes up with next. So, yeah. Love those. That is my definite love for sure at the time. So that's pretty much it for administration. And I guess I will share with you what I'm wearing just quickly. This is my Granny's Geraniums by Lily of the Nordic Stitches podcast. And yes, I'm not taking it off because I will be fidgeting with it forever to put it back on. But it is a modular triangle shawl, and you start off with the center square here. It is like a mitered square, and then it goes down into this section here. Well, actually, once you do this, you do the sides, which have this beautiful lace pattern, and then you pick up in the triangle shape and do this beautiful lace design that is here. I shared this before on one of my previous podcasts, so I don't remember which one, but you could look back on it if you're more interested in learning more about this shawl. And then I added in a third color here at the bottom. Yeah, I love it. So it's nice and warm. It is fingering weight yarn. I use 3 colors. You could use one solid color. You could use 2 colors, or you could use more than 3 colors. It's all up to you. It's a really fun shawl. I had a lot of fun making it, and I do highly recommend this pattern. So do check it out. Okay, guys, I'm going to get on to the knitting here before the podcast gets too out of hand and off topic. So I have some finished objects to share with you this week. And the first one is my hat. So last time I podcasted, I shared this with you. This is my beloved hat. And I'm not going to say the designer's name because I'm just not sure how to pronounce it. So I pretty much always list down here in the corner what the pattern is and who it is by. And if I happen not to, it'll all be in the description box, and you can find it on my Ravelry page. So without further ado, here it is. This is my beloved hat. It's just a basic seed stitch hat, or moss stitch. I'm not sure which. I think it's moss stitch. I just love that so much. It's got a 1x1 rib, and I put a nice big white pom-pom. The pom-pom is probably coming on. It's not on there forever. I do want to put a white pom-pom on it. I just want it to be smaller. This is the only size I have. I have 2 white ones, so I'm going to have to find a slightly smaller one because I feel this is just a little bit too big for the hat, and it feels pretty heavy too. So yeah, anyways, that's the hat. It is not that green. It is more lighter. Well, I don't know. It's brunette satin in the sage colorway, so it's like a pretty sage color. It's just not that bright because my camera don't like green colors apparently. So anyway, there's my hat. And the next thing, I have everything sitting beside me here, so don't mind me if I'm reaching. So the next thing I have to share with you guys, I am super happy about and super excited. I might have to push you guys back slightly when I go to show it. But I finished my Harvest cardigan by Tincanknits. So last time I shared it with you, I think I still had a little bit of the body left to do. Well, I got the body done, put the sleeves on it, and it is now complete. So I'm going to try my best to show you guys. But here it is. All finished. And I love it. I just love it so, so much. So I did the medium to large size. That is the size that Shelby picked out. I did knit this for her. And I did the medium to large size. And in the pattern, the gauge calls for 10 stitches per 4 inches on the largest needle, which is a 5mm. I end up getting 13 stitches per 4 inches. So my gauge is off on a 5mm, but I did go with it just because I really liked the material that I got with it. So I'm pretty happy. So Shelby was here and she did try it on, and I wasn't done the body yet. I still had to knit some, but she tried it on and it seemed to fit her well. So hopefully all is well. But the body, I did measure from the top of her arm down to where she would like the the bottom band, like the armband here, cuff band, there we go, to sit. And she was 24 inches, so I did make sure that I knit to that length, which that should be fine. And the body, I misread it slightly because the body called for her size 14 inches, and I realized that I accidentally did it 16 inches. I just misread the pattern, not the pattern's fault, my fault. So it is like 2 inches longer than it should be, but I don't think Shelby will mind. It does have the garter band on the bottom here, and it does have the same garter ridge detail on the sleeves as well. So yeah, I totally love this thing, and I hope she will too. I did share pictures with her already and she loves it. So yeah, so it is a top-down construction. It starts off here at the back collar. You do a provisional cast on, and then you're knitting outward, and then eventually you're working back and forth, and you're doing raglan increases, and the body is pretty much just work stockinette. And thing I love about it the most is that you're working the band at the same time. So there's no need to go back and work the band. It is all done at the same time. So I just put a pretty little floral button on it. And the buttons that I used were Inspire. They're just some buttons that I had picked up earlier in the year at Fabricville. So I just really liked them, so I thought it would match well, and yeah. So the cardigan, you don't have to put a button on it. In the pattern, they do put a button here. So they do have that option to put one here. They use like a toggle button, I believe. But you don't have to. It can be just used as a plain open cardigan, or you could put more buttons on it if you want to, but yeah, I just went with the one. Anyways, that's what she looks like, and I love it. So I am going to be seeing Shelby tonight, and she's going to be getting her sweater, so I get to see what it looks like on her, how it fits, and hopefully we're going to be taking some pictures of it, so I will have some project pictures to share with you guys. I will be posting them to Instagram, so if you follow me there, you will see it on her. So yes, absolutely love this knit. The yarn that I used for this was Lion Brand Heartland. It is in the 180 Kings Canyon colorway, which is a beautiful foresty green. And that is fairly true to color right there. Well, it's blowing out a bit, but yeah. Absolutely love it. It is an acrylic yarn. That's just making you aware if you weren't sure. It is acrylic, but I really like the Lion Brand Heartland because it's really soft. It's one of my favorite acrylics out there. It doesn't have that real that plasticky feel or rough feel to it. It just feels really nice. So yeah, I absolutely love the stuff. So anyways, there's the Harvest by Tincanknits. That is pretty much been my knitting this past week, to be honest with you. But I did get some other stuff done. So I will be doing probably this one again, I'm not sure. I updated my project page for the sweater the other day, and I was pleasantly surprised to learn that I had finished that cardigan in 2 days. I had 2 more days and it would have been a month's time that I had started the project. So I'm just going to bring you guys back closer. So I am super excited about that. I have done, I think, 2 or 3 adult cardigans. Mind you, they were men's cardigans, but still, or pullovers. They took me like 2 months to do. So I've always been slightly nervous on making bigger projects like that because they take so long. So I am pleasantly surprised and happy that this one took a little less than a month to make. So there might be another one in the works. I'm going to be doing a cardigan for Kaylee, possibly for Christmas. Depends on how much I have on my plate, but she has requested one, so I don't know if I'm going to do that one, or I've been really wanting to do a fade, Find Your Fade, I think it's called, or Comfort Fade by Andrea Mowry. So I don't know which one I'm going to do yet. I did go to Michael's this past week and I picked out some Lion Brand Heartland for myself. It is right here beside me, but I'd have to move to grab it. It's like a rusty brownish orange color. It's super, super pretty. I ended up buying a sweater's quantity for myself for the harvest here. So yeah, I have another sweater's quantity heading my way as well. That one is Cascade 220 Superwash. So I'm not quite sure which one I'm going to do yet. It is just a worsted sweaters quantity. So yeah, Bobby wants some sweaters. I still have my big old coat by Jorge Locatelli that I'm going to be putting back in my project bag now so I can start working on it since the weather has gotten cooler again. So pretty excited. So yeah, those are some things you can look forward to seeing from me in the future. Some garments, and I'm happy. Okay, so finished objects are out of the way. Now I'm going to move on into works in progress. So the first thing I'm going to share with you guys is one of the shawls that I'm working on. Okay, so the last time I podcasted, I did share this one. Just get it all set out here. So this is my Golden Hour shawl by Andrea and Mowry. And I think the last time I shared it with you guys, I possibly did this section here. I can't remember now. But I have gotten this much done on it now. And I never know how to hold these things. It's curling up a little bit too. One sec. I'm going to show it to you upside down. That might help. There we go. So that's upside down, but at least you can see it. So that's what I've gotten done so far. And I just did this the other day. So this is now the third color. It is a 3-color shawl. So first you start off, I put my, I think that's how it's supposed to be in the pattern. I presume you can do it any way you wish to. But my medium tone color, you start off with that. And then I worked in my darker color. And then my lightest color went here. I think that's how it goes in the pattern. I think that's how they get you to set up your yarn. But it's a beautiful 3-color shawl. It is worsted weight. I'm using Patton's Classic Wool. I will get the tags out so I'm not lying. Yes, Patton's Classic Wool worsted. And I'm using the Natural Mix colorway, which I believe is my medium tone. It's just like soft browns. My white, my darkest color is Heath Heather. I'm getting the 2 browns mixed up, but as I said last week or last episode, I believe that's the order that they go in, but there's a medium brown and a darker brown. It's one of the two. And then that's my white color. So, which ain't a bright white, it's more of a creamy color. So, that again is 100% wool, worsted weight, and I am loving it. So, I believe now I am back into this section again. And I think for this section, I'm going to be doing these 2 colors again, but opposite. So my crosses or my plus signs, however you wish to take them, they will just be opposite in color, I believe. Not sure. But yeah, I have a few more sections left and I should be all done. And I've been going back and forth on this one. I really do love the shawl. I've had a ton of fun doing it. This color work is done with slip stitches, and I'm not a color work person, but I've been having a ton of fun doing it, and I just can't get enough of this shawl. I just want to do the next section and the next section. So this one here might possibly be a gift for somebody. I have somebody in mind. So it probably will not be for myself, but don't be surprised if you see another one on my needles, just because I am having so much fun with it. And yeah, it's quite addicting. If you follow the Legacy Knits podcast, Chelsea and Sue, I noticed yesterday Chelsea finished her Golden Hour shawl, and it's done in their Legacy Fiber Arts yarn. They have a 3-color set for this shawl, and oh my gosh, guys, you need to go over to Instagram and check it out. It is so beautiful and gorgeous. Sue finished hers as well. I believe the second one is hers. Hers has some blues in it. They are so gorgeous and beautiful. So I recommend you go over there and check that out. But The Golden Hour by Andrea Mowry, do check it out. It's awesome. So that's one of my works in progress. So the next one I have to share with you guys, I just don't want to dump anything on the floor here, is another shawl. And this is a new cast on. I have not shared this with you guys yet. So this one here was meant to be part of Joji's fall knit along. And I am knitting along, but I'm not officially knitting along. I didn't realize that you had to sign up for the knit along, so I was a day late in signing up, but that's quite okay. I do not mind. There are a lot of people that have joined, and it's a lot of fun by the looks of it. But I'm just knitting along for fun. It doesn't matter. I've been wanting to do another shawl, and this one here I've had on my watch list for a while. I've been really wanting to cast it on, so I just decided to go for it. So I'm just trying to juggle everything here. So this is the Washed Out by Jorge Locatelli, and I cast this one on last week. Can't remember now. Anyways, so make sure I'm showing you guys the right side here first. Yes, okay. So here's what I have so far. So it starts off down here, and then you're working up, and now I'm working this way. It's just a really neat construction. I really like it. So that's what I have so far. So pretty much it's just plain garter, and then you have this beautiful lacy section here, and you are fading your colors as you go along, because I started off with my first color, and then I started to fade in my pink color. And so once I'm done my faded section here, then I'm going to be doing my next lacy section like this in the pink color. So I have a few more stripes to go, and then I'm able to do that. So it's a lot of fun. I wasn't quite sure on the colors as I was knitting this, just because you wouldn't tell it by what I'm wearing today, obviously. But these colors are somewhat out of my comfort zone, but I'm going with it. It looks pretty. The more I see it, the more I fall in love with it. So yet again, my camera is not being nice to me, because that's showing up like a really bright green, but it is not. It is blues. It's like a light blue. I guess as I come a little bit closer, it's not as bad, but anyways, this is the 2017 Yarn of the Month colorway that Allison Barnes did. It was the April colorway, and it is just these creams and browns and blues, not green, blue. And then the next one is, I'm just going to show you the ball. It's going to be easier. So here's the one by Allison Barnes. I really wish my colors would show up right. But there's my Allison Barnes one. And then this one here, and I love this one, guys. So I don't remember exactly what the colorway is. So 4 or 5 years ago, I ended up getting this skeiny yarn from Kristen of Woolen Vine Yarns, and it is actually a gold stellina. I'm not sure if you can see that. I think you can. And this was a discontinued colorway of hers, and I want to say it's called Poppy. I'm not 100% sure of that because I lost the ball band, but it's just this beautiful pink color, tonal pink color, and it does have some peachy spots in it, and it's just so beautiful. I love it. I have been hoarding this skein of yarn for a long, long time, and I think I attempted to do a shawl with it, and it didn't work out, so it just got set aside, and finally I decided that I wanted to use this because it is just too pretty to sit there. So it has now taken up its place in this shawl, and I think it's going to look beautiful when it's done. I really like it. So for my next color, because you do use 3 colors, I think my next color is going to be a white. I'm not 100% sure yet. I don't have a ton of fingering in my stash at the moment, but I think I'm going to use white. I do have some Rosebud by Barnyard Knits. That's what I was originally going to use, but I don't have a full skein of it, so, and I think the 3rd color is what I need most of. So I think I'm just going to be using white. Not 100% sure on that yet. But anyways, I am in love with this. I can't wait to see it when it's all finished. So this is the Washed Out Shawl by Jorge Locatelli. Yeah. So for this one, I'm using my Knitter Prize Zings, my 3.5 millimeter. And that is a fingering weight shawl. So, just gonna put this all back away because we have a kitty cat with us, and she would love to play with it and get her claws into it. So there's that. And the next one I have to share with you is another new cast on. And this is another one that I am super excited about. I just got this pattern yesterday and I casted it on immediately. So I saw that Kaitlyn Hunter, Boylan Knitworks, came out with a new hat pattern, and it's called the Cardamom Coffee Hat. And when I saw this hat, I was like, oh my gosh, that is so beautiful. I was nervous though, because I am not a colorwork knitter. And I was like, there's no way that I can do this. However, I kept going back and forth to the pattern, and I was like, this is so beautiful. So I was going to do it, and I did. So it is a fingering weight hat. It is a three color hat. And in the pattern, she uses Madeline Tosh unicorn tails or minis to do the hat. I think the color A uses like 100, maybe 100 yards of yarn. The second color uses like 80, and then the third color uses something like 10 yards of yarn, something like that. It's not very much at all. It's a great stash buster for your scrap yarns that you have left over. It is perfect. So that's another great reason to do this hat. So anyways, I decided that I was going to cast it on, and here's what I have so far. How beautiful is that? So I think I am like 8 to 10 rows into the chart already. and it's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying this. It's not hard at all, and as you get knitting along, it's very easy to remember what you're supposed to be doing. I'm only working with 2 colors right now, and for the most part, that's what you're working with. There's only a slight section that you have to work with the 3rd color, but it is just so pretty. So the yarn I'm using for this, I don't know the colorway name of this one. This is some yarn that I had in my stash. Sorry, I hit the camera. This is Knit Picks Hawthorne Fingering, and it's like a beautiful hot pink. And then my color, middle color here, is Barnyard Knits, and this is in the Rosebud colorway. So it's a creamy color with some green and pink speckles in it. And then for my 3rd color, I was going through my stash and I think I have enough of it. I'm going to be using the purple, which is a Malabrigo in the Velvet Grapes colorway. And I think I'm going to use that as my accent color. If I have enough, I think I do. Your 3rd color is what you only need 10 yards of, I believe. So I should have more than enough to do it. I hope, because I think that would look really pretty. So this hat comes in 3 sizes. It comes in child, adult small, and adult large. And the yardage given is for the adult large. Oh my God, Bobby, talk. So yeah, as you can tell, it does not use much yarn at all. So that is awesome. So yeah, I highly recommend this, guys. It is so much fun, and I think it's a gorgeous hat. And if I'm going to go out there and say, if you're a beginner color work, totally try it out. It is a lot of fun. I am a beginner color work knitter. I can't say that I've really done it before. My shawl, the Golden Hour, is done with slip stitches. This is, I want to say true color work, but I'm not sure what's true color work. It's all color work in a way. It's just that with this, you're not slipping stitches. So inside, I will show you my floats. I'm not 100% happy with them. Some of them are a little loose, but for the most part, I'm happy. It's not a total mess. So I'm happy. They probably could be better, but they look fine to me. For the most part, they're even, and there's nothing that's really protruding or sticking out that you can get caught on, so I'm happy with it. So yes, and I'm just going to show you my little stitch marker here. It is so cute. I will show you these in Stash Enhancement. It's a new one that I got this week. So pretty. So yes, that is what I started yesterday. So pretty much this here is an evening's worth of knitting, so a couple hours. And you're gonna laugh at me for this one. I did not want to grab my sewing machine and bring it out to make some yarn bags, so I just used Ziplocs. So I put each of my skeins in it just to keep them separate, because I catch my floats every 3rd stitch. So if because I'm going between the hot pink and the rosebud right now. So I will, if I knit a hot pink one, I knit 3 of the rosebuds, and then I cross over my my hot pink to catch it, and then I continue knitting with the rosebud color, because you're going further than 3 stitches. So I try to keep it within 3 to 4 stitches, and then I cross my yarn over to catch the float, just so you don't have like long pieces of yarn that are like just laying there. So that is something that I have been doing here. So in doing that, maybe there's a way that you can do it so it doesn't twist. I remember I had attempted to do a colorwork mitten back in the new year, and I searched colorwork knitting on YouTube, and I found Arnie and Carlos. They have a really great tutorial on how to catch your floats, and it was very helpful. So anyways, I put them in these bags, these Ziploc bags. These are medium freezer ones. I just find it's a lot easier for me. My yarn doesn't twist as much, and if it does twist, then it's easy to wrangle the bags and get it untwisted. So yeah, that's just what I'm doing. There's probably an easier way, but that's what I'm doing, and it's working. So yeah, I'm happy. So for this, using US Force 3.5 millimeter. I believe to get gauge with the pattern, she suggests that you use a 2.5 for the ribbing, and then a 3.25 or a 3.5 for the body of the hat. So yeah, unfortunately I don't have 16-inch circulars that are smaller than 3.5, so they're just what I'm using. So my brim, I used the 3.5 for it as well. Yeah, I need to get some smaller tips for 16-inch circular knitting, but it works. My gauge seems fine. I like it. So I was worried that it would be too loose, but it's not. So yeah, that's fine. I like it. So that's the Cardamom Coffee Hat by Kaitlyn Hunter of Boylan Knitworks. So there is that one. The next thing I'm going to share with you guys, I do have some sock knitting, and I have them both stored in my cute little kitty project bag that I made. So the first one I'm going to share with you are my Astor Socks, and this was a new cast on from last episode, and this is a newly released pattern by Jaclyn Salem. She has the Brooklyn Knit Folk podcast, and I'm just gonna get my needle aside here so I don't lose it. I didn't get that much more done on it. I did a whole nother repeat, but there's the pattern. You can see it a lot better today. So I did one more repeat. The back has this beautiful rib texture back here. Totally love this pattern. It is super addicting and it looks gorgeous. So I am using my 2.0 millimeter needles. It is a 64 stitch count. I believe that's the only size that she has in the pattern at the moment. I don't think there is another size. I could be wrong on that, but I don't think so. I think they're all 64 stitch count. So the yarn that I'm using for this is, and I'm all twisted of course, I am using Long Dog Dye Works in her Popsicle Stand colorway. And I just love this colorway. It's a little bit more orangey in real life. The lighting is washing it out, but it's a lot more vibrant in real life. It's a lot more orangey, but it is beautiful. I do love it. So as I said, it's Long Dog Dye Works. This is in her sock base, which is an 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, which is 400 yards, and it is in the Popsicle Stand colorway. There you go. So yeah, totally having fun with these. I didn't do a ton of sock knitting in the past couple weeks, but as I said, I did get another repeat on it. And then my second pair of socks I'm working on at the same time is my Forever and Always socks. And this is a pattern by Danielle George, or Danny of the Little Bobbins podcast. And I finally put these back on the needles. I had started them on a different yarn base and I didn't like it, so I had ripped them back out. and then I casted it on, the new sock on, and I kind of just casted it on and hadn't touched it. I kind of lost my sock knitting mojo. It's all about the sweaters and shawls lately, especially the shawls. So I kind of didn't touch it, but I finally casted it back on, and this is what I got done. So I think it's a little hard to see, but it's got this beautiful stockinette and garter cable that goes down part of the leg. So I believe there is a left sock and a right sock. So you got the cable, and then the rest of the sock is just plain stockinette. So for this sock, I am doing a 56 stitch count on my Knitter Pride Zing DPNs. These are my 2mm. And for this one, I'm just going to put these back in the little holder here. So for this one, I'm using some Lay Family yarns, and hopefully the tag is in here. Yes, it is. So this yarn is Lay Family Yarns. It is in her 75-25 Superwash Merino Nylon blend, and it is in the Buttercup colorway. I just love her tags. They are so beautiful. And there's the yarn. So it's this natural base that has some greens in it, and it has some yellows and some coppery orange colors. It is just so beautiful. It's speckled. I just love it. It's so beautiful. So that's what I have done on that one so far. So my sock knitting mojo is, it's kind of there. It's not fully there like before, but that's okay. When I want something easy, both of these socks are, I can't say are exactly easy. They are easy to do, but what I mean is I kind of need the pattern in front of me or with me to do it. There probably are intuitive enough to memorize, but I'm not one of those people that can memorize stuff very well anyway, so I kind of like the pattern in front of me, and I am slightly OCD about that stuff as well. I'm a perfectionist of sorts, so I want to make sure that I'm doing stuff right. So yeah, Adobe Reader is my best friend, and I always have a pattern in front of me on my computer or my tablet or my phone, and I follow along. But it is super easy to do. Both of these sock patterns are super easy to do, but they're not exactly car knitting. So if I go in a car, usually I would take my socks with me and work on them, but these can't exactly come along with me unless I have the pattern. So they haven't been seeing a whole lot of love, but that's okay. They will get done when they get done. No big hurry. I'm just enjoying the process of them. So that's all the knitting I have to share with you guys this week. Not a ton, but that, like I said, the sweater took up most of my knitting time. And I've been putting work on both of the shawls. I've been enjoying those a lot. So yeah, just having fun with those. So I do have a little bit of stash enhancement to share with you guys. It's not a lot, but I am so happy about both of them. Sorry, my eyes itchy. So the first thing I'm going to share with you guys, you kind of already saw it on my Cardamom Coffee Hat, is my stitch markers. So these are some leaf stitch markers. I believe there was 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, 5 of them that came all together. And if I remember correctly, the Etsy seller is Essence of Me. I will link it down below. I should have written it down in my notes, but I didn't. She is a designer out of Toronto, Ontario, and I just love her stitch markers. She has a lot of beautiful ones, so highly recommend that you check her out. So I got these ones. I thought they were so pretty, and I just love the ring on them. They're just, it's gorgeous. I love it. So I got those, and she does have a matching Progress Keeper as well. I didn't get the Progress Keeper this time, but yeah, I'm super happy in my purchase there. Shipping was cheap and it was really fast to get here. It took less than a week, so I am happy about that. And I do have another set of stitch markers coming to me. I believe they're out of Ontario as well, Toronto. It's from a different maker this time, so I'm not quite sure when they're going to be here, but when they do get here, I can't wait to share them with you guys because they are gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So I cannot wait for that. So that's something to look forward to. I have another thing to share with you in stash, but I'm going to put the video on hold for just a moment because part of it is sitting over there on my desk. I forgot to bring it over, so I'll be back with you guys in just one moment. Okay, sorry about that, guys. So I made an order for the very first time with Diane of Suburban Stitcher Yarns. She has a Suburban Stitcher podcast as well here on YouTube. I have been watching Diane's podcast for many, many years. I've always loved her. She's such a lovely person, and I really hope that I get to meet her one day just because I think she's so awesome. But she has the most beautiful projects, and she is a yarn dyer, and I love her yarns. So I finally decided that I was going to make an order, and I cannot tell you how blown away I am by the yarn. So one of the first things I got was her new enamel pin. And how beautiful is that? Suburban Stitcher. I have not taken it off the card yet. It is just sitting on my desk with my one that I got from Lay Family Yarns. I don't want to put them in on my project bags because I'm afraid that if I go somewhere with it that it's going to accidentally fall off and I'm going to lose them. So I think I shared this with you on the podcast last time. I'm probably going to find something or make something like a fabric banner of sorts that I can hang behind me and put them all on so you guys can see them. But yes, I had to get that. It's so pretty. So that was the first thing. And then sorry if you don't like the crinkling, but I put it back in the bag just to keep it safe. But here is the yarn. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, you would have already seen it. But I got some of her new colorways. So I'll take them out. So the first one I got is not a new colorway. It is actually one that's been around for at least a year anyway. This is Ballard. Ballard? Yes, Ballard. And she had this one on sale in her shop. So it is a beautiful green color. And it is on her gold stellina base, which I think is absolutely beautiful. You can actually see it there. Of course, that is not true to color. It's a deeper green than that. It's very, very pretty. If you look on my Instagram, you will see the true color of it. It's really pretty. So anyways, this is on her glitter sock base. It's a 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and 5%, 20% nylon, 5% gold stellina, 438 yards. There's that one. Wait a minute. Okay, no, that's still not true to color. Oh well. So there's that one. And then on the last podcast, I'm dropping things. On I believe it was Diane's last podcast that she did. She showed these as 2 new colorways, and I could not resist them because they're so pretty. So this is a new one. This is on her Pure Sock base, which is 100% superwash merino, and it's 438 yards, and the colorway name is That Old Chestnut. Now it's washing out on my camera here, but it is a little bit more deeper in real life. And it's these beautiful chestnut browns, and it's got some speckling in there, and it's got some more redder spots. Oh my gosh. It's got some lighter spots like there. It's just so pretty. I really, really love this colorway. It is just beautiful. And you can see the tag there. That Old Chestnut. And then the third one that I got, and I absolutely love this colorway. I got this one on her single sock base, so it's a single ply. 100% superwash merino wool, 400 yards, and this one is in her Evangeline colorway. And when I seen her show this colorway, I just knew that I had to have it. It was just so beautiful. I mean, how beautiful is that? It's washing out, of course. The colors are a little bit richer in real life, but oh my gosh, it's so pretty. So I was really hoping I would have preferred that these two be on, like the Evangeline was on the Pure Sock base as well, but unfortunately it was not. But that's all right. These I'm going to be putting into a shawl together. I already have a shawl in mind. I think these two colors work beautiful together. But I already have this one in my Ravelry library. It's the O'Hara shawl by Kaitlyn Hunter of Boylan Knitworks. And it is just a beautiful triangle shaped shawl. It uses 2 colors, and then I believe you use minis in it as well. I think it uses 2 different minis in it, like contrasting ones. And it has like this section and the triangle, 2 or 3 sections in the triangle where it has like this fringe on it. And it just looks so Western to me. And these 2 colors are Western or Southern inspired. And I think the colors just call it. It just speaks to this shawl. Anyways, I just really want to make this shawl in these 2 colors. So it's taking everything in me not to cake these up right now and cast this shawl on, because I want to. However, I'm trying to resist the urge. I would really love to get my golden hour off the needles first before I do so. But we will see what happens. But I am really, really happy about these 2 colors, and I can't wait to cast that shawl on. So that's another thing that you can look forward to in the future. So yeah, anyways, that's the colors that I got. And I didn't show you the tag on this one, Evangeline. So highly recommend that you go check out Diane's podcast if you've never watched before. And I highly recommend that you check out her shop, because as you can tell here, she has some beautiful, beautiful colorways. I love them. So yeah, Suburban Stitcher. And that's all I got for you guys this week. Super happy about that. Just one more thing about the Suburban Stitcher yarn. Diane is in Texas, and it took less than a week to get here. Oh my gosh. And shipping was not that expensive either. I think I paid $10 shipping. Maybe no more than 15 for sure. But it was cheap, relatively cheap. and it was super fast to get here. Usually I wait 2 weeks if anything's coming from the United States, and I made this order on a Friday. The following Monday was a holiday, so it was Labor Day, long weekend, which was here in Canada and the States, and I still got it on Thursday. Yeah, that was super quick. So I was super impressed by that and very happy. So yes, her shipping is amazing and incredible, guys. And when I made the order, she had it out, I believe, the next day, something like that. So that is incredibly fast. So yeah, she is awesome. Diane is awesome. So anyways, I will let you guys go for now. All the show notes will be listed down below in the description box, and you can head on over to my Ravelry page for more in-depth details. And I do check out my Instagram, as I said. I'm going to try to do a lot better with updating my Ravelry with some pictures and stuff like that. But just be patient with me. It will happen. We are settling in here to our new place, and yeah, things are good. They're just things are taking a little bit longer right now because we're still trying to get things settled and in their places. And yeah, so anyways, that's the joys of moving, right? So anyways, guys, I will talk to you guys. I don't know if I'll see you next week or in 2 weeks, but until then, I hope you guys have a good one. I hope that you get lots of knitting and crafting time done, and just enjoy what's left of the hot weather or warm weather. I know a lot of you guys can't wait for fall. I know you get to wear your knitwear, and it is so lovely and it's so nice, but I'm one of these people that love summer because I just hate being cold, and I'm always cold in the first place. So I'm not happy to see summer go away. But I hope you guys enjoy the weather and get out as much as you can and enjoy. So yeah, I will stop babbling now. Until next time, guys, happy knitting.